Dingle doodles and flingle floodles, we're back on Raging Loop and my name is Noodles. We're about to break into Uematsu-san's house and find out what the fuck's going on, why she hasn't come out. So let's find out. I looked around and saw a few aged farming tools lying against some houses. The old wooden hoe and mallet were too rotten to work here. But the old axe looked just right. 1, 2. I lifted the axe and started counting, but I had to stop midway. There was a sound of clattering. The door suddenly moved. Surprised, I jumped backwards and glanced at the other two. They were just as shocked, if not frightened. Oh, what's that? What do you mean? It has to be Rikako-san. Uematsu-san. There was no response at first, but a few seconds later the door shook again. A moment later it fell silent once more. Had she collapsed on the door? If she wasn't well and was lying next to the door, breaking it open was dangerous. I put the axe down and walked up to the door again. The moment I approached it, I heard a clicking sound. I didn't have time to question what happened before it creaked open. There was a gap about 20 centimeters. It was pitch black inside. And there was a face all covered in blood. What? Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, this seems... Yeah, that's not horrifying at all. Yeah. I sunk back into the darkness the very next moment, but they were soon replaced by an inhuman scream and an arm that snaked out and grabbed for my neck. The grip had inhuman strength behind it. I ignored Chiemi's and Kiyonosuke Shi's scream and tried to pry myself free. My throat was on the verge of crushing. The groans continued ceaselessly, the nails dug into my neck and I was being dragged inside. Help! How the hell was she so strong? This arm clearly belonged to Rikako Uematsu, so why? Help me. My words got them out of their stupor and they ran up to me. As I panic and lack of oxygen dimmed my vision, they grabbed and bashed and tugged at the arm that was holding onto me. Damn it. Here they go. Just one finger. I don't know how long it took, but when I was eventually freed, Kiemi swiftly slammed the door shut. Bring something I can use to bar the door. Like what? Oh, just shove the axe in it. Sitting on the ground in shock, I simply stared at their exchange. I could still barely breathe, my vision was hazy and I couldn't think clearly. Something inside was trying to get the door open and possibly escape. What it was though, I had no idea. What happened to Rikako Uematsu? How about this? Nasara-san, hold it shut, I'll bring the others and we'll barricade it. Haruaki-san, are you alright? Can you stand? Yeah. Actions were more important than words here. Stealing my resolve, I rose to my feet. We gathered everyone who could still move and sealed off Rikako Uematsu-san's door and windows with planks, nails, large farming tools and whatever else we could find. The small house was basically a pile of flimsy barricades now. Everyone was tired from all the work and sat down to rest. What's the point of doing this though, someone asked. We could still hear groans and crashing sounds from inside. No one answered the question, but we all understood that letting that thing out would be a mistake. But what exactly was it anyway? Hayomi Bito. That seemed like an answer, of some sort anyway. What do you mean? Corrupted folk that come from Yomi. You don't know? It has to be a Yomi Bito, that. That's not what I mean. Yomi Bito are wolves, right? They came back to life because of their grudge over being killed during the feast. It's not always like that, Haru-chan. Yasumizu has always been menaced by Yomi Bito. Or maybe this is the corruption. Uematsu-sama might have broken an important law. That can't be. Protecting the laws is the role of the purifying spider family. But that might be it. She touched too much of the corruption. But that's... She might have come to Yasumizu to keep at least a bit of the Yomi's corruption away. How many Yomi Bito will we have now? Takumi was a good boy. Maybe it's a good thing he died before seeing hell. Thus I offer homage to Shinai the Almighty, so peace may come to pass. Thus I offer... Oh, whatever. Just say that again. A silent prayer. Her eyes were teary and her shoulders were shaking. Wait, then Rikako-san is... Yomi Bito must be hanged. That didn't sit right with me. The rule was that breaking the laws meant getting the corruption, and getting the corruption meant being slaughtered, right? It was the first time I'd heard that it was possible to do something about the corruption and that she'd die because of that. Logic had little ground here, so the people were gradually losing their minds. They were being pushed closer to death. It was like this was a supernatural phenomenon. Is anyone hungry? I've already calmed down, so we can do the rest after you've calmed down as well. It was a very attractive suggestion. As we all turned away and returned to the dining hall, I felt like Rikaku Umetsu let out a groan even more inhumanly loud than any of those before. Once we arrived, the place was dominated by a heavy silence. There were sounds coming from the kitchen. A kitchen knife rhythmically hit the cutting board as Kaori-san prepared the food. Tai-san was seated away from everyone, desperately yet fluently chanting a sutra. Combined with the kitchen sounds, it had a mind-numbing effect. Everyone else was simply falling into a torpor, staring silently into space. Even I, the sanest person in the room, wanted to simply let my mind shut down and stop thinking. That wouldn't stop me from trying, though. Rather than trying to evaluate the details, I decided to return to square one and summarize the current situation. Takumi-san was dead. That left me, Chiemi, and the two Uribes, Kiyonosuke-shi, Tai Yamawakashi, Meiko, Rikako Umetsu, and Haru Makishima, a total of 9. And Rikako Umetsu, I don't want to say she'd become a Yomi Bito or something, but it was clear that she was in a condition that left her functionally useless. Normally the right thing to do here would be to take her to a hospital. But instead they were going to discuss killing her. I probably have to remind them of the sound course of action. Whatever the case, if you ignored Rikako Umetsu and I, only 7 people were participating in the feast. With Takumi-san's death, we would never know what the snake found out about Haru Makishima. Therefore, the only confirmed people were Kiyonosuke, a human, and Meiko, a monkey. And personally, I thought I could trust Chiemi, so that made 3. I left 4 others. This was bad. I wonder if Chiemi understood that. I had to talk to her in private about how bad it is. But where's Oni-chan? We'd kept Meiko away from all that had happened this morning, so she was still in the dark about Rikako-san. She's not feeling too good. Leave her in peace. Okay, hey, can I go outside? Isn't it dangerous? I'll look after her. She'll be safe if she stays close. The two left. Yasunaga. What? There's something I want you to fetch. I'm going to use the bathroom. More and more people left. They probably didn't feel comfortable standing up until now. Tai-san just continued chanting though. It was like she lived in another world. Besides her, all that was left was Haru-chan. The way she constantly shifted in her seat made it clear she felt uncomfortable. Sorry about Takumi-san. I tried talking to her. Yeah, Chieni always relied on him. What about Rikako Umetsu-san? I didn't like her. She creeped me out. Chiemi-chan seemed fine with her though. That's because she's strong. When did Uematsu-san arrive here? 2 or 3 years ago. Not recently, at least. That seemed like plenty of time to get to know a person, if you ask me. Or maybe not. Yasumizu's people have been suffering at the hands of the village heads for generations. Of course they couldn't just accept her. I hear she's one of the village heads. What kind of family are the Uematsu anyway? What do you even want to know? How many times do we have to tell you that you're an outsider and should just stay out of all this? Oh, sorry. That was insensitive of me. Let's talk about something else then, alright? Fine. I looked around. As I saw Yasunaga-kun walk upstairs, I lowered my voice and asked, what was Mochi to you? Why are you asking? To make up for his lack of funeral. Huh? In funerals you talk about the people who pass away, right? I remember hearing that gives their souls peace. This is unexpected. What is? I thought you were cold and heartless. I didn't think you'd want to hear some... Oh god, sorry, I was just fixing my watch. I thought you were cold and heartless. I didn't think I'd hear something about peace and in the afterlife from you. Fuck me, words are hard. That was just rude. Mochi was in the Satu, but he never acted like he was better than anyone. He was weird as much as a troublemaker as Chieni, but he never hurt anyone. Everyone said he wasn't right in the head, but I didn't think so. He was really funny. I think he would have been really popular if he appeared on TV. He was 1 year older than me, but he treated me like someone his own age. I always had tons of fun with him. He got along really well with Nichan too. He did? Yeah, they were always together and they were like a pair of heroes in school. They got along so well that sometimes I felt lonely with them. Her visage dimmed. I felt like she was easier to understand than most. If Mochi had really liked her, it must have been tough love. She hadn't even looked at him in that regard. And with being with Yasunaga-kun, even made him a target of her jealousy. But he's gone now. Yasunaga-kun must feel terrible. Yeah. Why not help him out? Yasunaga-kun was going up the stairs again. I gestured at him with my chin. Huh? He's doing something for his mum, and Chiemi-chan's outside. I don't think you can replace Mochi, and Chiemi-chan's probably the best person for the job. But even if they are the ones who'll make the final decision, there's no reason to hold yourself back in the meantime, right? You want to help them, don't you? Yeah, you too. Well, she only gave me way more than just a meal and a place to stay. I won't say I don't have any ulterior motive, but more than that, I just want to support her. She seems to be suffering at the hands of things I can't even comprehend. Yeah, I think I misunderstood you. I can't blame you. Are you going? Yeah, I still need to apologise for yesterday. Then I'll go outside too. We stood up at the same time. Though Harry-chan was always on edge, deep inside she was a really honest girl. I worried that she'd fall victim to some scumbag like me down the road. Oh. What? Maybe you should really run Never mind, forget I said anything. She cut herself short and hurried upstairs. Apparently I gained some of her trust, but it didn't look like I could get anything more useful than that bit of advice. Unlike the other inhabitants, she just believed that escape was possible. That was why she tried to do it yesterday. That might have been the extent of it. So who do you suspect? Harry-chan and Yasunaga-kun. I walked up to Chiemi, who was looking after Meiko, and we started a conversation. I can understand Harry-chan, but Yasu-kun? We have 4 suspects, Tai-san, Kaori-san, and them. He was the only one out of those who was outside when Mochi died yesterday. And considering how cunning the wolves are, I can't imagine it being anyone but him. He's that devious? Yeah. Wait, what if Rikako was the one who killed them, which is why she then turned into that Yomi thing? That's possible, right? That makes sense. Really? Why did Takumi-san die today? Huh? What do you mean? He was obviously killed by the wolves. That's not what I'm asking. Huh? What do you mean? Oh, I think I get it. Because the spider didn't protect him. Right, the spider is probably already dead. Huh? Wait. When you think about it, on the first day, Takumi-san was protected by the spider. And yesterday, no one actually said that the spider should protect someone else, right? Yeah. That means that the spider once again protected Takumi-san. He's way too valuable. At least that's what should have happened if the spider was still alive. Well, that's true. Since the feast started, the ones who died before Takumi-san were Kanzo-san, Yoshitsugu-kun, Mochi, and the old man who cried wolf. One of these 4 was the spider. The wolves realised this, killed him, and then went for Takumi-san. That's the only logical explanation. Huh? Aren't you overthinking it? What if they just assumed the spider was gone because 4 people died? That's the optimistic take, but if we're actually dealing with someone clever, underestimating them would be a fatal mistake. But how they find out who the spider is? You're too loud. It's nothing, Meiko-chan. She resumed scribbling on the ground. She was completely absorbed in it for some reason. I think it's likely that the wolves guessed who was the spider. But how? You told me that on the first day Kanzo-san let Yasunaga-kun talk for most of the feast, and only made the final decision, right? He looked like a more proactive type to me. I doubt he'd agreed to not hang anyone on the first day. Well, that's true, but what about it? If he'd spoken up and taken the initiative, he could have easily controlled the situation. Most of his decisions would have been good calls. That's why he was such a good target for the wolves. That's what we thought, right? That's true, but we also thought the same thing about Yasu-kun. On the other hand, if you're a wolf, you have no chance of becoming a target for the wolves. It's more dangerous for them to not say anything important and look suspicious. Giving away harmless info for one is way better. That's the clever thing to do, don't you think? Why have I apparently got my headset connected? I hate when it does this. I don't have any headset connected to PS4. What the fuck is wrong with you? There we go. Weird. But how's that related to Kanzo-chan keeping his silence? Well, this is all just speculation. I think he kept quiet to avoid calling attention to himself so the wolves wouldn't target him. Why would he do that? Because he felt his survival was intrinsically linked to that of all the others. Because he had a guardian? Yeah, and it's probably the spider. Why are you so confident? The spider is the most vulnerable participant in the feast, after all. The one person they can't protect themselves. But as long as his identity was hidden, he had the possibility of making the wolves waste a night. That was probably why he tried not to stand out, but it worked against him and attracted the wolves' attention. He of all people is quiet. He must have an amazing guardian and all that. That led the wolves taking him out on the first day. and then taking out Takumi-san, now defenseless, on the second. I know it's just speculation, but I kind of feel like you're right. If even that was planned by the enemies, it's best to assume that the anomalies too have been shortcuts for the wolves. What do you mean? Too many people died outside the rules. Yoshitsugu-kun, Mochi, the old wolf guy, and Rikako Uematsu. She's effectively dead now. To the wolves, unplanned deaths are a good thing. The less feasts they have to survive, the lower the chance they'll be hanged. Then, what if they planned for those people to die? I see your point, but how could they pull it off? They could tell Yoshitsugu-kun to walk around outside at night, basically sending them to the corruption. I don't know the motive behind Mochi and the wolf guy's deaths, but it all makes sense if they were killed by Rikako Uematsu-san. What? Tai-san talked about the Uematsu's role and thought she fell to the corruption because of it, but there's a more reasonable explanation. If she killed the two, she'd have broken the feast rule of one person per day and became a target of the corruption. I put aside the idea that there were apparently two types of corruption, slaughter and madness. But how? Do you see the clothes she wears? She wouldn't have the time to change. There's no way she could have won against two men, right? Then how about this? Mochi or the wolf guy killed the other, and the one who survived was killed by her. She became the target of the corruption for drawing the blood of a second person in one day. I don't know about the clothes, but it could be sold by a large apron or something. We can't say it's impossible until we verify it. But even a single guy sounds like too much for her. One of them was senile though, or maybe they were weakened from trying to kill each other. Kill? What? How could you think something like that? Again, it's all speculation. I don't even know the motive, but it does make sense. But how is that related to the wolves' conspiracy? I don't know the motive here either, but if they knew her weakness or something, they could have goaded her into killing them. Or maybe she was a wolf herself. Chen was at a loss for words. I had no choice but to continue myself. She could have hastened the whole process to give the other wolf an advantage. I really doubt that. Getting themselves killed would be really bad for the wolves. True, considering the number of wolves and humans, losing one wolf to take out two humans isn't a good deal. But there was no guarantee that everyone would realise that. Not everyone acts logically. There's a lot of illogical stuff going on, and predicting their effects is impossible. No, I don't want to hear that. But you can't give up, can you? I don't want to think anymore. Sorry, I said too much. Sorry, I'm the one who should be sorry, but yeah, this is a bit hard for me. I really don't think you people need to keep playing along with this. I'll help you escape if you want. We can't. I just know that if you're born here, you're fated to die here. That's just a baseless delusion. Someone who can't see God would never understand. Yeah, I won't. How troubling. It really was troubling. If this was some tabletop fun for the whole family game, I'd have already punched the GM and left. But lives were actually on the line here. Not just my own, but also that of someone I kinda liked. We made it this far, yet she was uncooperative. Maybe I was going about this the wrong? Maybe if I wanted to save her life, I had to start by saving her from the darkness within? Or maybe from the unidentified supernatural phenomenon that was binding her. Though, that didn't seem like something that could be done in just 3 or 4 days. Still, I'd struggle until the very end. I couldn't participate in the feast myself, so I had no choice but to leave it to Chiemi. I didn't say anything more to her, I just chose to believe she'd overcome her inner conflict soon. Meanwhile, Mako's drawing had grown so large, it felt like she would get lost in the midst. Oh, wake up. Hey! I left Chiemi, went up to Mako. Bah. She waved at me. Good thing she was kinda used to me now. What are you drawing? Those are guardians. Guardians? One drawing showed a warped circle with a line just as strange going through it. I could see what it was. It looked like a Higuchi family crest. I saw it in the dining hall. There were 4 of them, apparently. The others were hard to differentiate. Oh, that whirling drawing was the same as the one on the stone. The symbol of the Yomitsu Okami. I see. Shinai-sama's guardians. Did Oni-chan teach them to you? Yeah. What about these? They're not guardians, are they? They're cattle. I certainly wasn't expecting to hear such a vivid word from a girl about 4 years old. Animals, huh? Yeah, this is a cow. Mm-hmm. This is a donkey. Oh. This is a pig. The ground wasn't the best canvas and the little girl wasn't the best artist. All I could really tell was that they all had 4 legs. And this is me. It had 4 legs though. Well, whatever. And this is bigger than the others. A wolf. A light chill went down my spine. Huh? Why a wolf? Because the wolf is coming. Huh? The wolf is coming? I was like, because the wolf is coming, I had to run far, far away. Hold on, Maker-chan. You know the wolf? I haven't met him, but I know he's scary. Is this the same wolf as we have here? Bah? Where's the snake and monkey? I don't know. What does the wolf do? Eat the cattle. Eat? Yeah, they said the horse was eaten. Apparently this had nothing to do with Fujiyoshi's legend. I had no idea if this was from a picture book or her imagination, but there were barely any links between the stories. Or maybe I was rushing to conclusions? Who told you the story? It really happened. Where then? Far away. Far away, huh? I've been walking for so long. Well, it didn't look like I could get any details from her. If far away referred to the land of myth, and actually had truths regarding Fujiyoshi's legend that weren't told here. What the hell was I thinking? Land of myth? How stupid. I should just calm down and find under more info that makes no sense to me. I see, it must have been hard. I'm hungry. Same here, let's go back. Okay. As we turned around, I saw Chiemi stand up in the mist again and hesitantly beckon us. Looks like the food's ready. Kinosuke was standing at the entrance of the dining hall wearing a gloomy expression. He was never particularly vigorous, but now his visage was haggard, and he wasn't nearly as arrogant as before. I couldn't blame him. The only person who was friendly, flirtatious, to Rikako Uematsu was in an awful state. Also, despite all he'd said, he'd actually relied on Takumi-san. They seemed to be close in terms of age, too. And from what I'd heard, he'd never really said anything wrong. The only problem was his insensitive choice of words. The feast was a communication game. Even if you were right about something, it didn't matter if you couldn't convince anyone. Thank you very much. Still, he was one of the mere 2 confirmed humans. Treating him badly and making him upset wouldn't help at all. I had to be courteous. Let's go. Yeah. Hungry, are we, Maki-chan? Chemi had calmed down a bit. I'd already told my suspicions, and now it's a hope she handled the feast well. All that was left now was to get some nutrients to support my hard-working brain, right? I'm sorry I couldn't prepare anything better. Ah, an autosave. Interesting. She ladled what appeared to be rice gruel from a large pot. It was a thick white soup with vegetables, rice, and something brown inside. Game meat, is it fermented? Yes, the fresh meat was spoiled. Chiemi-chan. I whispered to her. What do we do? What do you want to do? We were talking about the thing where I had to avoid the local food. You know what? I'll stick to my diet until the end this time. Okay, thanks. What did I mean by this time? Did I think I had another life or something? It was fine. It wasn't like I was cool with dying just on the off chance I got a second shot. Dying wasn't an acceptable option. I wasn't about to compromise on that. There's no point in walking around, so I'll just wait here. Alright. You're not going to eat? I have a bunch of allergies. It's because you young'uns don't eat proper. You won't become strong if you don't have a balanced diet. Hey, I was lying, but telling actual allergy sufferers that they should just eat and they'll be cured was actual murder. Well, there were some efforts to cure allergies by carefully injecting the allergens via vaccine, but I was subject for the doctor. Anyway, going back to the dorm by myself was dangerous, since they suspect me, so I just waited in the corner of the room, still hungry. Where are Yasunaga-kun and Harry-chan? Still upstairs? Don't mind them, your food will get cold. More. I'll go call them. I went up the stairs, and when I reached the 2nd floor, I stopped for a moment. And I'm going to end the episode here. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you'd like to see more of this, then do subscribe to the channel, as I try to upload every day. Thank you for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.